Hello dears, and welcome back to Benidorm latest news update. Welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, like this video, and share it if you want to with all those who love Benidorm town and beyond it, all the entire Costa Blanca or Spain in general. Let's start today's video. The first part of today's news update, as usual, is the situation in tourism. As you all know, slowly but surely, the quantity of people, the amount of tourists arriving will start increasing from now on, because we're heading full speed towards the beginning of the summer season, towards the Easter week, which will be celebrated here at the end of March. And right on 15th of March, we will have Fallas, which is one of the most important celebrations in Valencian community, and it's when we burn to the ground giant monuments and statues made of wood and specific materials that burn really well, that symbolize everything bad that happened throughout the entire year. So we burn them and we just get rid of the issues, hopefully for the better start. And this also is an official start of spring, so big celebration. Big holidays are coming, and you'll definitely see it with the increase of people arriving to Benidorm. This weekend, for the first time ever, we've also visited another touristic town situated slightly more than 100 kilometers from Benidorm south. We've been to Torrevieja. If you did not check that video, check it out. It's the previous one before this news update, and it's Torrevieja beach walk. We went to the most famous touristic beach, Playa del Cura, situated in the center of Torrevieja. It's the most popular spot, well known for tourists, and it's the busiest part of Torrevieja too. So check it out, because the atmosphere for us was really similar to the one that we tend to have in Benidorm on the Levante beach. There were quite a lot of people, I must say, and a lot of businesses were open. The beach was looking very nice, clean and tidy. There was a question on that video asking how you get from Benidorm to Torrevieja. There is no public transport, obviously, because it's 100 kilometers away. To be exact, it's like 110 probably. So there is an option. You can go to Benidorm bus station. If you don't know how to get there, we have a video about Benidorm bus station. Just put Benidorm by Anna bus station and you will see the latest video from it. It's a complete guide on how to get to the bus station, where to purchase the tickets, and everything you need to know. So from Benidorm bus station, you can actually get a bus and intermodal bus that goes between the cities towards Torrevieja directly. You'll arrive to the bus station, and the beach is within the walking distance from it, all the way down towards the sea, straight road, nothing. I've just eaten some sand. That's not good. There's a really strong wind every now and then, and the sand just goes everywhere, including the eyes and the mouth. That's unpleasant. So you can actually get there with the bus, and if not, you can rent a car for a day and just go driving. It's around 1 hour 10 minutes from Benidorm if you go by highway. Maybe sometime in the future you will decide to visit Torrevieja, and if you've been there and it brings you nice memories, check it out, because you will feel like you're there once again. In Benidorm town, there's the average occupancy of 65% right now. It's quite high for the season, and in about 1 or 2 weeks, we will see it even more, and there's gonna be almost all the hotels that were closed for winter will be opening up right now some point in March, except for a few of them that are under big refurbishment, like for example Rosamar Hotel, that will be opening up by official beginning of the summer in June month, mid-June more or less. All the rest, the vast majority, will be open already in March and ready for the new summer season to start. The second news that I wanted to share with you all is obviously related with the tourism. Ooh, mouth closed, a lot of sand. The second news is related with the first one, because it has to do something with the tourism. No inflation, no recession. Spain is an authentic magnet, I would even call it, to the European tourism, especially European tourism, but also obviously other countries outside from European Union already right now, like UK is. In general, it's a big magnet for a lot of other countries. We continue to be right now one of the most favorite tourism destinations worldwide in the whole entire world. 1/4 of Europeans do state that they will spend even more money this year, 2024, for their holidays. This is all according to the latest report from the company that's called Accor. You can check it out online if you wish as well to get some more data. 23% of all the people questioned in the survey will choose Spain. 18 of them will choose Italy. 16 would choose France, and Portugal and Greece are receiving around 13% each one. 1/3, however, of all these people, even though they have more money to spend, but they still prefer a cheaper accommodation option. Let us know if you would do the same thing, knowing how the situation is. Maybe even if you were able to gather slightly more money for your holidays, because it does cost more expensive right now. The food, the drinks, the entertainment, etc. Are you choosing a slightly cheaper accommodation option for your holidays? Or in general, you're going to the same place, or maybe you do not look at the price, you do not compare it with the last ones, and you just choose which one suits you best and which ones you potentially would like for your holidays. Would be really, really interesting to know it, because according to this, 33% are choosing a cheaper accommodation option. And 27%, which is also almost 1/3, are reducing the amount of presents they are purchasing during their holidays. Obviously, the food, the drinks, the entertainment is something that's not reduced. Why? Because that's why people come on holidays. Obviously, accommodation might not be the most important thing. You just sleep there, you just rest there. You know, it's not something that you need to be luxurious and full of things, unless you do not plan on leaving the accommodation throughout your holidays, then yes. But if it's not the case, if you will explore the whole entire day, just come back late at night, does it actually make sense to have a very, very expensive accommodation option? If you could spend all this extra money that you could save up on the accommodation for nice food, nice drinks, maybe some excursions, some activities that you could do potentially here in the region, or travel around the area even. Let us know, what are your preferences in this case? The high season right now is way longer. As you know from the latest videos, we did not really have a pause between the summer season and the next summer season. Winter season barely existed, just maybe a few weeks of calm and quiet holidays, but the rest were really, really busy. So for us, the high season is not from June, July, and August. For us, the high peak season would be starting from April, May towards December month probably. There's a lot of months when it's extremely busy, which is why it's not necessary, which is a good thing. It's not necessary to purchase your holidays only in July or August, which are the most expensive months, to be able to see everything open and everything available. You could perfectly come outside of these most expensive months for way cheaper and still enjoy all these same, because the weather will be great. It's still nice, it's still busy, everything is still open, and it doesn't make any sense to spend such a huge amount of money only because it's August instead of maybe June or September month, or maybe May. The last news that I wanted to share with you all is about a surprise that is no surprise for us. This is probably going to be relatable for all those, and interesting for all those who are planning to live here, or who know someone that is planning on living here, or maybe are just curious about what prices are to compare it with their home city or town. The offer for rentals in Benidorm, as you all know, it's really, really complicated to get a long-term rent right now in Spain, especially in our region. Not only because it's getting more expensive, it's because the offer is way, way lower than the demand is, which brings us into huge competition between families, basically. There's a lot of necessary paperwork that needs to be submitted. It's not enough to say, okay, you can afford it and show the money on your bank account. You need to show way more than that to be able to access even the possibility of seeing the property. Spain has launched a new law, which is called Ley de Vivienda, the law of the property, that basically has a lot of changes. One of them is already being applied in one region of Spain, which is Catalonia, where Barcelona is located, to limit the amount, the price of rentals in some specific tensional areas, they call them, which means that these areas are too expensive to be true and they need to be regulated by law. Catalonia is the first one. Benidorm still does not regulate it, but there is a website of the Ministry of the Properties that allows you to check how much do the properties, how much should they cost, better to say, in our region. And we did check it out. Living in Benidorm in general is a dream for a lot of people, but lately it's been more and more difficult to access a property for a reasonable price. Various political parties, they've launched this law, but here so far it's not the case just yet. In Benidorm, the studies of the data actually reveal, attention, that rental for a long term are historically the highest ones that they've ever been right now. Comparing with the income that people receive and comparing with the cost of life, it's the most expensive it's ever been. And the bubble here just bursted. Okay, the bubble bursted here, not only here, but in other parts of Spain. In Tempo building, that one right there, that high, tall skyscraper, one of the tallest buildings in Benidorm town, rentals right now are of around 2,000, 2,100, 1,900 euros a month. Because, well, it's a brand new building, it's fancy, it's unique, has a luxury spa on the top in that gem. Why not to put it as high? Well, yeah, it's probably worth it. No, because introducing all the data of when the building was built, if it has an elevator, all the common areas, all the concierge, all the extras, okay? When you introduce these details into the system of the ministry, of the government, the price of these apartments should be around 620 euros, from 620 to 950 euros a month. Even if we take the highest point of it, 950 monthly, 2,000 they're asking. It's more than a double of the maximum range. How is that even possible? Welcome to Spain. Welcome to Spain. I'm quite sure a lot of other parts is also getting crazy expensive. Let us know what is in your country, what is happening. Are rentals also getting, they're out of control? Or on contrary, it's still all right and you can access a proper place to live without leaving a whole entire salary on it? Let us know here in the comments, because here in Spain we leave more than 30-40%, more than 40, even more than 50 a lot of the times, percent of all our income only on rent, which is absolutely bizarre. On the beach areas here on the Poniente Beach and Levante Beach, it's happening more or less the same. On the avenue of Mediterranean Avenue, the main artery that goes parallel to the Levante Beach, that is great for short-term rentals, by the way. The prices should be between 600 and 840 euros, but instead, the same apartment would cost you 1,700 euros a month. Double. It's more than a double of a maximum. That's insane. And like this, it's happening in all the areas here in Benidorm. In case Benidorm decides to approve this change of a law, the same as Catalonia and Barcelona did, will it mean that finally properties will get cheaper, that finally we'll be able to access the property that we would want? Hey, nope. It won't mean that. at all. Why? Because these laws, I don't know who does them, but people do not actually think it through very well. This law will apply only towards the big owners. That means that they have many properties, not only one, not two, not three, and companies that own a lot of properties as well, not only private owners. And also for those who have not been renting out their property for the last 5 years and now decided to do it again. Then this law will be applied and they won't be able to charge whatever they want. They will need to charge according to the index of a property officially established. But all the small owners, they will be able to charge what they've been charging for now. It's going to be all the same prices. Well, there's way less rentals. There's a lot of different insurances that are being asked, a lot of different paperwork, guarantees, and much, much more. Second people, family members that have to put down their salary or their guarantee just in case. It's bizarre how many things are being asked right now for rental. And there's very, very low supply, but a huge demand here in the country. So, especially in our region. And it's extremely difficult to get a house, to get a property here where to live on a long-term rent. When you purchase a property, it's easier. There's quite a lot of it. It's not an issue. By the way, if you did not know, we have our own immigration consultation office, which is where we not only help you to find a property for rent or for purchase, to find your forever home here in the area of Costa Blanca, but we also help you with a lot of documents. We help you with permits, with visas, with registry at the town hall, private medical insurance, translations, and much, much more. So we do know what the situation is like very, very well, and it's really hard. Unless this law will change, there's gonna be even more issues probably to find a home here in our region. And now let's talk about the weather. What is happening right now in Benidorm? Because as you could have seen, right now there's barely any wind at all. But a few minutes before, the sand was flying onto us. This is what the weather is looking like right now. The gorgeous viewpoint right there on the top, one of our most favorite ones, situated here in La Cala. And in general, Mediterranean Sea is sunny, but here near Benidorm is quite cloudy. Look at this. There's quite a lot of wind, which is why there's barely anyone here at all. One person right there on the horizon. No one else. Just one person and ourselves. So what's happening with the weather? Today it will be sunny from the second part of the day after these clouds will go away. This past weekend the meteorologist said it was supposed to be raining. It did not rain, but we did have up until 100 kilometers per hour strong wind, which is still here, as you can see. This following weekend it might be raining too. It's not for sure because, as you know, in Benidorm, surrounded by mountains and by the sea, nothing is for sure. You never know what the weather will be, and even if they say it will be raining, it probably will not. Apart from that, the rest of the days will be cloudy, partially sunny or sunny. So it's still a nice weather except for the very strong wind. Hopefully it will go away very, very soon. Temperatures are really cozy except for right now. Once the wind is gone, it's very nice, and when the sun will get out finally out of the clouds, we'll have around 19-20 degrees. All the rest of the week it will be more or less the same, and towards the weekend around 20 to 21. So still temperatures are not too bad. Only the wind is something we do not really like so much. This at least is a good news because North Spain is covered in snow. An authentic cold winter came there beginning of March, which is actually very strange. Everything is covered in snow. Roads were paralyzed for quite some time. Here it's just wind, so it's not as bad as it seems, doesn't it? Thank you for accompanying us on today's windy Benidorm news update. I wish you a lovely beginning of a brand new work week, and we'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, click a like, and write us a comment, because that helps us a lot to reach more audience and more people who are in love with Spain, Costa Blanca and Benidorm town. Bye, D's.